Hey everybody, Aaron Blaise here, and welcome to another episode of Aaron's Art Tips. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about something very simple having to do with animation. When I work with a lot of students, one of the first things, and it's a little detail that you can put into your animation that people tend to forget. I was going to say one of the things that young animators tend to forget when putting together acting and trying to get life into their characters, they forget blinks. Blinks are very important. We do it all the time. We blink thousands of times a day. It's something we don't think about, but it's also something that if you add it into your animation, it helps bring your animation to life. You can use it to get your characters to think and all that kind of stuff. But before we get into that, I just want to remind you that you can go to my website, creatureartteacher.com, and there you're going to find all kinds of cool new tutorials and on Photoshop painting and animation and that sort of thing. We're right on the cusp of having a whole line of animation tutorials that we're going to be getting up probably in about the next 5 or 6 weeks. So go check it out. It's creatureartteacher.com. Okay, so let's talk about blinks. Now what I've done here is I've put together just a very short little scene. This is going to be a very short tutorial, but I put together this little shot of this little boy and he's turning his head, and what I've done is I've added a little blink, just one little blink at the end, and you can see that it adds, his expression will start to widen and start to grow, and when I add that blink you can see him kind of start to think. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. Like I said, it's very short. It's only a little over a second long. But when you see it, you can see that blink just adds a little bit more life to the character. Think about adding blinks, but don't just do it haphazardly. Think about where they would be. I mean, act out the scene to yourself. And when do you blink? It's when we're thinking, it's when we're trying to find the words. If you watch my eyes, I'm blinking all the time. Now also, I want to go through the mechanics of this blink real quick too, because a blink is not merely an open eye, halfway closed, closed, halfway open, and then open again. I have a certain method to doing blinks, and I'm going to show it to you real quick. Like I said, it's very simple. Look at that, I stopped it right on the blink. So as he's coming up, I'm going to scrub through this. You can see there's two things I want to talk about. One is the timing, and the other is the anatomy. So first, as he starts to close his eye, notice how I'm favoring this pose, meaning it's not halfway, it's closer to the pose before. As the eye starts to shut, I just show it closing just a little bit, and then on the next frame it's closed, or on the next, I'm doing this on twos. And then I do the same thing as he's opening his eye. So when he starts to open, I favor the bottom, and then it's open. I don't do it halfway because it mushes it out, is what it does. And so you can see it favors at the top, closed, favors at the bottom, open, favors at the top, closed, favors at the bottom, and then open. Now the other thing I want to talk about too is, eyelids don't just shut like a shutter. That's what some people tend to do with their eyes. You got to think about the corners of the eyes. Notice that I've got the eyelid working like an eyelid. It's connected at the corners. Whoops, let me bring this forward. Whoop, going back the other way. There we go. So as he starts to close, I'm thinking about these corners right here. And then his eyes close, and then as they open, he's still attached at the corners, and then it opens up, okay? So remember that anatomy. So if I play this at speed, you have a nice natural blink, and it gives your characters a little bit more life. So the next time you animate a scene, if you're finishing up your finals or whatever, whether it be for CG, hand-drawn animation, it doesn't matter. Adding those blinks add life to your character. It grounds them a little bit more in reality. Okay, so it's a little tiny tip for this week, but I hope it helps you out. And until next week, I'll talk to you then. Thanks. Bye.